Hey, welcome back to the Nets, the home of unbiased views. Topics that I will be covering today. Day one of India versus England at Chepauk. And yes, there are different games going on at the same time, but considering this is the game that will be affecting the World Test Championship, at Lords, I guess I will take a deeper dive into this. But before I go anywhere, can you please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're coming in for the first time? If you give me a shout out, even better. So, first test, day one, brilliant day for cricket. 27 degrees temperature, 28 degrees temperature, 72% humidity to begin with. Ideal time for Team India to be on the ground. And team selection wise, I think the batting was, at least from India's perspective, the batting seemed like there were no surprises there. A bit surprising was the bowling selection. Ishant Sharma coming in from a long layoff, and considering Test cricket is returning to India after 380 days, Ishant being injured, coming back in. Bumrah was injured for the last Gabba Test. He was coming back in. I would have been, I would have probably tried Siraj, but nonetheless, we know this team selection. They always go back to the seniors before they, unless there's a out of form, they don't really like to change the dynamic of the team much. So Nadeem's selection for me was a little bit of a surprise, considering there was a genuine wicket taker in Kuldeep Yadav who was still sitting on the bench, and I do not know what the problem with Kuldeep is, but for some reason Kohli and co don't seem to favor Kuldeep. Nonetheless, brilliant days of cricket. England win the toss, select to bat, and bat they did. So they started off cautiously, both Sibley as well as Rory Burns. And Ishant and Bumrah for me, I think missed a trick by straight away going to Rory Burns on the being round the wicket. Rory Burns, as we have seen in the recent past, likes to take that first step on the offside and then try to clip the ball to the leg. So it doesn't really make sense that we wouldn't even give our premium bowlers the chance to go across him, take the with the natural ball angle going away from the bowler and give him that chance of clipping the ball, which keeps the third slip and gully region interested. And plus, what also intrigues me is if this was the plan all along to go round the wicket for a left-hander, why wouldn't we be keen on having Kuldeep Yadav, who can then utilize the rough that these two bowlers create on the from the round the wicket side? But strange selection. Nonetheless, now that we are in, we have to back these guys. So England started off brilliantly, 63 for one. Then they had a 63 for two as well, with Dan Lawrence not really being able to read Bumrah. That was after which was the Joe Root show. Joe Root comes in and just takes the attack back to the Indians. And what I think Joe Root did brilliantly was whenever India would try to rest their premier bowlers and bring Washington Sundar or Nadeem, Joe Root would attack. That would mean that they always wanted one of the premier bowlers to be on attacking from the other end. And I think that ploy worked for England, considering considering they have tired Indian bowlers just by taking singles, ones, twos. Because if you look at the scores, these part timers whose primary job was to block runs and create pressure from one end have leaked away 3.8 runs and over for I think 32 odd overs, which straight away takes the score to 130. And then the other bowlers in the other 65 runs, they have given away 140 odd runs. So it just shows that England did their homework and they came in with the plan of attacking these two bowlers, the part timers. And Joe Root playing in his 100 test, brilliant ambassador to the game, tons of experience, loves the Indian bowling attack, has probably scored 5 test matches, 5 test 100s against India. He was yet again brilliant, yet again looked solid and compact, and doesn't seem to have given any chances to the bowlers. What the nonetheless is still out there. So historically, if you look at the scores in Chepauk, yes, teams batting first have managed to score 400, but the pitch actually eases out on day 2 and day 3. So even if England is 3 down, we have seen test matches change hands in one session. I wouldn't completely count out India yet, but I do know that first day one was definitely England's. What India can or will have to do now is come back in, attack, attack, attack in the first 1 hour of the game. Ball is relatively new, it's just 9 years old. It does reverse between the 30th and the 50th, 70th over, and then it just goes soft. So I still feel that India does have a chance of getting, if they pick up 3 early wickets and in the first session, I think they are very well back in this game. But having said that, they have to pitch the ball up a little bit fuller than what they had been doing in the on day one, session two. Strange team selection. Ishant, I know he has managed to surprise us all in his 98 test career, but I think that England will probably sleep easy. I think they have a upper hand in this test match. So, that being said, that's all that I have for today. Uh, Keep an eye out for day 2 of test match. I will be making a follow-up video on day 2, and probably I'll have Arsh as well. But that's all that I have for today. Wherever you guys are, stay healthy, stay safe, and before I go, I would make a request again to please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. The channel is back to the nets. Give us a shout out if you can. Leave me a feedback. If I'm doing good, let me know. If I'm doing bad, let me know. I would be more than glad to take any positive feedback that you guys will give me. So that's all that I have for today. Stay healthy, stay safe wherever you are, and we will talk shortly. Thank you.